Hi everyone, I'm just going to have a look at holiday cards today. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to use Christmas type card. I'm using that because the tree shape here is going to use the tools that I prefer, and that's going to work well. Of course, you can do whatever your holiday would like. Maybe it's even birthday or an invitation. Maybe it's just, exploring doing some graphic sort of or art using Photoshop. This will give you the techniques you need to create different things that you may not have explored. It's working for beginners. This is a beginner's tutorial. You can rewind if you've missed different sections. Keep it open and follow the tutorial to get this sort of result. In whatever format, what you're going to be learning is text, effects on the text. You can see it looks a bit 3D there. We're going to be learning about different layers. What's that layer? It's not a layer, I'll throw that in a bin. We've got different brushes and different effects on the decorations here. Star, different things going on. Okay, so I'm going to start file, new file. I'm just going to call it card. I don't know why it's gone to this default, but just check this. It's always on centimeters. We're going to make it approximately an A4, so that can be, let's say, 20 by 31. Let's put this resolution up to about 170. Nothing massive, but that'll be fine. And then the rest, just make that CMYK. 8 bits fine. It's quite a big size already. It's 10 megabytes to start with. Let's have a look. It's behind. I'm going to go between these two tutorials. Okay, so there's our blank canvas. When you start Photoshop, of course, you need to make sure you can see your tools palette. All the tools are here. We have our layers palette there. We have also, if you want to undo, you need to go to the history. Okay, so this is our history, and that works as our undo in Photoshop. Okay, let's have a look at what we have on this card. We have the text, we have the decorative stuff there, we have the star, we have the tree, we have the background of colour that sits on top of this white background. Okay, so first thing we need to do is put the background colour. We need to create a new layer. Every time you create something else in Photoshop, make a new layer, so it's easily manipulated if you want to change anything. You can see this is on the top one here, and this is default. I'd recommend going back to that if there's any issues. We have a rectangular marquee tool. We're going to select this one today, drag that out, choose the color we'd like, double click here. Okay, then halfway up, this is a paint bucket. You may see something else. You may see this. If you hold down the mouse, you've got these different options. Today we want the paint bucket tool, the gradient tool. You can see here that it goes from this light sort of blue and it fades to white. That's the same as this image there, the icon, from light to dark. Now this will work in terms of going from the blue to green, but I don't want that green. I want a white. So just change that. This is, you can select between it, and if you hover here, you will see set foreground color, set background color. Okay. Now I'm over on this one, and it changes on. It doesn't matter what Photoshop project I'm working on. It's going to change these elements, and I'm going to drag this across, all the way across that one there. Okay. You can do different angles. You can, if you do it just a little bit, you're going to get different effects. I'm going to do it across the whole thing. Okay, just like that. To get rid of what we call, or someone called and it's stuck, ants crawling, these ones here, you can't do anything outside of this box at the moment, so I'm just click here again, click anywhere, and that's gone. Good. Click this one before we move to the next one. Okay, next step is the Christmas tree here. We're going to take this third tool. You may see the lasso like this, a circular one. Hold down that mouse, choose the polygonal lasso. Now I'm just going to do a real quick. Now you've got to create a shape, being a polygonal thing. and it's got a join at the end, hence being a shape, making a shape. Now I'm quickly making, and I chose the Christmas tree because it is fairly random, and I think for my tastes, the more random and more crooked it almost makes it a bit more fun. Okay, you should be able to see a little circle there. Okay, when that appears, then it's going to end up like that when I click it. This area I want to fill with green, of course. Layer, new layer. If I put it on that background layer, you wouldn't be able to move it, manipulate it, change it in any way. So now I'm going to put it here. I'm going to choose my color. I'm going to choose medium tone green. I'm going to choose dark tone green. I'm going to grab this gradient tool and again drag that. Okay, I want it the other way around. I want green, light green on top. There you go. You can see what's going to happen here. You've got different types of effects you can play with. You can mess around with these at different stages. But stick with what I'm doing now, just so you can learn that. Okay, of course, go back here, click anywhere. I'm just going to move this down just a tad. There we go. Now, what's the next step? Let's just go up layer by layer, I'm thinking. We've got the star, okay? New layer, always put on a new layer. You can name that tree. If I just double click here, treat, I don't know, okay. And then we got star. You can name them, and it is useful at times when you get to, sometimes 50 or more layers. It can be very confusing without having the name there. Just bring that down again. I'm going to zoom in. Over here we've got the zoom tool. If you want to unzoom, I guess you could say. Zoom out, of course. Zoom out, unzoom. There you go. Okay, grab this lasso again over there. I'm using shortcuts now. I'm going to move a bit quicker. I'm going to choose a color again. I'm going to just use the paint bucket. I just want that yellow by itself. Okay. I'm going to quickly add text, and then I'm going to call this part 1. So, here's another way to make a layer. Down next to the rubbish bin here, it says create new layer. There you go. There's another new layer. And we'll keep this for the stars later, but I'm going to create text. So type. I'm going to choose a large one. It's already large. It's on this font here. I want a bold font. Let's go. Let's see if I can find some sort of interest. Okay. There we go. That'll do. Choose the color. Christmas red. Alright. I'll just drag that on you as on the side there. Merry Christmas. Alright, we've got all the elements except the stars, but it's looking a bit plain. Oh, the stars and the decorations. It's looking a bit plain. We're going to learn about how to fix that in part 2.